Yo, I swear it's taking everything in me to stay legal, especially right now in the times that we're in. Like, the economy is crashing. We're seeing layoffs. The cost of living is high. You know, they're doing tax cuts. All kind of stuff is going on. You know, and me, how I came up, I wasn't just selling drugs. You know, wasn't just um, you know trying to make ends meet through through pharmaceuticals. You know what I'm saying? Because I had that as well. You know, I really would come up on things and find ways to make money. People will offer me things. People will put me on. I would get fronts, all that, and would be working the block. But now that I'm older and realize what I was actually doing, the destruction I was causing, I changed my ways. And I told a lot of people that I was changing. So I really made a change for the better, even though you know life for me isn't what I would hope. What I mean, it's really not too glamorous. What I'm saying, I really wish that I had put my skills to the test. What I'm saying, as far as musically and you know my craftsman skills. What I'm saying, just being able to create things, write books and stuff. I really wasn't using none of those skills when I was younger. I was just really in the streets. But when I was walking to the store not too long ago, somebody had stopped me. I don't really know who it was. It was a white guy, and he was asking me for drugs, asking if I knew who had some and if I could help him out. And in my mind, I'm like, I should do this because I'm in a bind. Because I know people that got drugs. What I'm saying, that got stuff, but you know, I don't want to middleman anything and jeopardize my freedom. You know what I'm saying? So I really just made short conversation and then I walked off. In the back of my mind, it was like temptation. What I'm saying? Trying to fall back into that, but you know, I know God has something greater for me. So I just really gotta stay prudent and stay disciplined. You know what I mean? I made a choice to stop selling drugs and, you know, try to become a productive member of society. You know what I mean? As hard as it is, but that's what I decided to do. I made that decision a long time ago. You know, I made music and everything, but, I really was in the streets. I didn't only sell drugs. I used to, rob people. You know, I got locked up for that. And it's really not a pretty thing. I've seen people throw their lives away behind the love of money. You know what I mean? There's people that's not coming home, because they was dealing in narcotics and whatnot. Being dope boys and stuff. It looked glamorous. Growing up, we seen them, in the cars and the clothes, and they had the women. They had popularity, they had clout, but you know what I'm looking at it now is a lot of people are in jail or they don't have what they used to have, so they lost it all. You know what I'm saying? Like they had to switch up their game plan because of what the police was doing. A lot of feds and detectives, you know what I'm saying, was in my community doing raids and really popping people. So a lot of people change, but